We are the DFPN. Always question the answers.
No Gimmicks podcast, and we bring it to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down, it's the time to move around. No Gimmicks podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring, this is the time for the No Gimmicks, no, we doing our thing. What's your state of mind, state of mind? Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar, the F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit, what's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on, it's the time. Guarantee we move, you know how we respond. The state is mine, the state design when we feel it. Moving down, what's the healing? No gimmicks is the feeling.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. And I want to apologize first and foremost because I made a mistake. I didn't hit I normally hit the Thursday intro, but you know, just moving right along through life, I hit the regular intro and you know, mistakes were made. Apparently, today in Dallas is the day to make mistakes. So
apparently, yes, that is an understatement. There's a lot of mistake making going on, not just in Dallas, but kind of across a whole bunch of different avenues. So,
oh my goodness, man! It is you know, when Luka Doncic got traded, I thought like that was it. You can't possibly make a bigger mistake than that. Nico Harris was on the hot seat, still is in a way. But
absolutely.
Lo and behold, Jerry Jones was like, bro, hold my insurer. I will outdo you.
So here's the thing about that, and of course we're talking about Micah Parsons being traded to Green Bay.
Yes.
Here's my question to you: are we going to get Fire Jerry chance? I know we've been hearing Fire Jerry for decades at this point, but is there going to be a point where the voices of Globe Life Field or the voices of the American Airlines Center start ringing out with Fire Jerry? I don't think so.
I don't think so, but he did come out and kind of defend his decision a couple of minutes ago, and his explanation was he thought trading Micah Parsons was in the best interest of the Cowboys, and he compared it to when he traded Herschel Walker.
Well, you know, at least he's, and this is not very often where we give Jerry Jones credit, but at least he's standing on a reason, which is more than Nico Harrison.
This is true. This is very true.
Jerry Jones came out, faced the music. Nico decided to go hide in the corner for a little bit and wonder why everyone's mad.
Because you just cooked us, bro. Now in his defense, they got a number one draft pick out of it. But
sure, yeah. I mean,
at least it was more than a matchbook,
and at least it was more than a matchbook and a double bubble. So there's something for that.
Oh man, but you know, it's the kickback, because I was at work and I was right by AT&T Stadium when that was announced. It was not pretty, bro. It was not pretty. People were like, I give up.
They were? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, because go ahead.
They were like, I give up. That is the end of my fandom. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. I rode with the Cowboys through some pretty tough times, but this one is it. They're done.
That's so interesting, because I remember when Luka got traded and we saw the procession. There was practically a funeral. People brought a handmade coffin to the American Airlines Center when Luka got traded. just so interesting to see the dynamics of how people respond when their favorite athletes do something, or are sent away, so to speak.
Right. Yes, that's a weird aspect.
You don't see that happening when superstars get traded from Raw to SmackDown.
No,
Although,
no, exactly.
Can you imagine how it would be if WWE could actually stick to a brand split and have like holy shit moments when a Raw superstar appears on SmackDown? Because now it's just like, okay, whatever. you ran out of ideas for him.
Right. I mean, you could really do that. You have the roster of talent to where
100%.
you could do that. And now that you're working with people like TNA, like imagine if you got like Moose for somebody on the SmackDown roster. Let's say Moose for Drew McIntyre. Imagine that actually happened, right?
Yeah.
They announce it. And what if there's like a trade deadline? And so you're seeing all these people get traded to and from places. But it's like a release, it's a trade. You know what I'm saying?
With the move to ESPN, and I don't want to sidetrack us into talking about that necessarily, right? With the move to ESPN, that doesn't actually sound that far out of the realm of possibility.
Right, it doesn't.
I like that idea. I like the idea of that. And if you want to make it even sillier or anything like that, if you were to trade, say, Moose for Drew McIntyre, but when they get traded in, they have to fit exactly in the storyline right where it picks up.
Right. Right. But you could make scenarios like that happen. So and you're right, this whole move to ESPN, which you've been gone, so we hadn't even talked about that. Yeah. But the whole move to ESPN is like, what if you have a draft, but that draft is from like NXT and LFG, right?
Oh yeah.
And like you're looking at people that you could draft to Raw and SmackDown, but in the midst of that, you have like trades and stuff like that. The potential for that is there because the roster is so stacked up from bottom to top. It is stacked like that to where you could
and if you're
legitimately have a season.
At a more black curtain with WWE real and all.
Yeah. Think I'm losing them here just a little bit, but
like they're in the forum and they're discussing, okay, but this person's a bigger draw. Like that's why I want them. Maybe they're not the better wrestler, but like they're openly talking about this person's more of a moneymaker. Like that's kind of compelling TV to me. You've got people
really
freaking like Raw side, like Brian James, like Road Dogg talking on the SmackDown side saying that he wants Stephanie Vaquero over because she's a bigger draw than Tiffany Stratton. Okay, now we carry that over into the storylines. Like, holy crap.
Right. And bro, there's so many directions that you can go with this thing. Even the WWE ID thing, like you could bring that into play. You know what I mean? Like there's so many ways that you can go about this, and then like it all culminates at WrestleMania, right? Yeah. Because you have the individual person is like the team. People are gonna compete to get to WrestleMania. Sure. And you make it something to where everything is meaningful now. You know what I mean? And it's a legitimate season.
Yeah. I think we've outlined the whole thing. That sounds like a separate podcast for all of it.
It is.
You talked about WWE ID schools, of course, and who would not be included in that draft would be the Knox wreshling school, whatever it is out there, right? That's not a thing anymore for them.
Right. They shot themselves in the foot, and way to segue into that, by the way.
I just picked them up where you lay them down, brother.
Way to segue into that, but what up, CJ? He said WWE ID has not had a great week at all, bro.
Nope.
At all. So let's talk about that, because I actually, when this came up and I knew you were back, I was like, this is a perfect topic. It really is. And I get to pick your brain on a piece of this. What's up, Neil? Welcome to the show, my friend. But this is a perfect opportunity to pick your brain on this, right? So
Sure.
Roger Jackson, the son of Rampage Jackson.
Rampage. Yeah.
He, a lot of people say he crossed the line. I agree with this. He crossed the line.
Oh yeah.
And he went after Psycho Stu, went in the ring, beat this guy to a pulp in the ring, to where they said he flatlined in the ring. He's still in the hospital. He's still recovering. But as a result of that incident, the WWE ID school, Knox Pro, they lost that. WWE severed ties with them immediately. My question to you is, because the main question I had about it, if all the circumstances surrounding him getting into the ring are up in question, should he been allowed to even get in the ring?
Well, that's an interesting way to phrase that first question, because I mean he was there for something, right? He wasn't just there as a fan. They were there. They were doing something with him, weren't they?
Right.
Okay. So I mean, if they were doing something with him, all right, sure, he can be allowed in the ring. I got no problem with that. I really don't. I don't have a problem with that. You booked a guy to do something, and all right, there he is. So now he's going to go do it. Cool. I think the entire circumstances around the whole beer can to the head thing are murky at best. Well, they're not murky anymore. We kind of know, we know more about it now. But also, and this falls into where the WWE ID distinction gets ripped away from, because obviously they didn't train anybody correct enough to know what to do in that situation, or to set up that situation properly. They tried to do a work, and they didn't do it right, and that's dangerous.
Right.
It's different if it's just some weird little social media thing. Okay, whatever, it's cutesy or whatever. That's not the case here. We were playing with a person's life, and basically not telling them that hey, here's what you're going to do. This is how we're going to set up this program. They didn't do that. They just said, here, we're going to do this. Good luck. So that's where my problem is. And I think Shane Helms kind of said it eloquently on Twitter. If anybody told you otherwise on how this was supposed to go, then they were wrong.
I agree with that. And the whole, I don't like looking at the video, because it's disturbing enough. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And looking at all the circumstances surrounding it. Now, AJ Mana, for his part, he says he come out and said that, I didn't mean to go that far, but he did go that far. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's all about accepting the accountability at this point. And outside looking in, because I'm not going to speak, I've only been behind the curtain one time, and that one time was I wasn't interactive enough to know what was going on, what's being planned. So I'm not going to go that far, So if you're not there in an official capacity, there's a respect that comes with it as well. You know what I mean? And I don't think Roger had the respect enough at that moment to be like, hey, I'm going too far, or hey, I need to protect this guy. And I think that goes along with it as well. Even if you're a fan, even as a fan, there's a certain level of respect that you have to have for the business if they're allowing you to be in that presence. And I don't think that gets highlighted enough. If you're a fan and you get to step behind that, approach it with respect.
Yeah, 100%. I also the whole situation. Of course, everybody was saying oh, he was only doing what was natural, and
he got hit in the head with a beer can kind of thing. He's just responding. It's like, okay, but then if you go find that footage of him talking to his live stream,
yeah,
and literally saying the words, "I am going to hit him as many times as I can," like there's no way he's getting out of this like any kind of scot free. And for him to also respond, "My bad," like I know we don't take those kinds of things into legal account, but
right.
But really?
Like, bro, you sent this man to the hospital with very serious injuries.
You killed him. He flatlined.
Pretty much, yeah.
Him.
Yeah. And your response is my bad. Like, I'm pretty sure because MMA has a respect for each other too. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
The goal at the end of the day, even though it's a brutal sport, the goal at the end of the day is to go home to your family. And why that wasn't translated into this sport where the goal is the same. Everybody wants to go home to see their families at the end of the day.
The goal is to protect the other person, right? That's what we always say. Our goal as performers and as wrestlers in that ring is to protect the opponent, protect the person you're facing. You've got their life, their body in your hands. But again, that's rule number one. And if the school didn't approach rule number one, well, yeah, they're going to be in trouble then.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm coming from with it. It's like, bro, like take care of them. And it seems like on all fronts, no matter what side you bounce towards on this issue, if you think that the school's at fault, if you think Roger's at fault, the main issue here is no one protect the Stu in that moment. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody. And you saw like when the first punch, and of course I know there was a rapid flurry of punches, but like after the first maybe two, you're still standing in the ring going like that. Nah, you should be kicking in and like go save your guy.
Yeah, off the first one. Because when he slammed him, like you seen his head bounce off the mat. That was clear. His head bounced off the mat. And after that first punch, bro, like somebody need to jump in there. Like save him. You know what I mean? But and that didn't happen. And after the fact, they did the pin. That's the icing on the cake.
Yeah. I didn't see that part of the video or anything like that, but I saw the like screenshot of it. And I'm like, you went through with it?
Yeah, they did. So the ref throws up the X, right, to say like, hey, he throws it up, and then like you see the pin, and then he counts to 3, and then they get out of there.
So devil's advocate here, and this might be the unpopular part of the discussion or whatnot, but I mentioned me being a baseball guy, right?
Right.
When you see a pitcher get hit in the head with off a line drive that came right back and hit him off the pitcher's bat, there's still fielders that are fielding the play. They complete the play. They throw to first. They make sure the runner is out. Then everything stops. So, like, I don't know. That's also that gets me weird too. I don't necessarily like that. Like as soon as the pitcher's hit and like crumples down, you stop.
It's a human reaction, bro. Like if someone's hurt, like the game is secondary at this point. If the guy is like seriously injured, all this other stuff is secondary. Like you got to look after the life first. You know what I mean?
And so it's always struck me as weird though when that happens. Somebody gets hurt, they go down, they're like screaming in pain or they're twitching or whatever, and somebody just like picks up the ball and throws it to first.
Throws
and then
it,
like, all right, we're good now. Let's go check
out. Out. Like, bro, my guy he's unconscious right now.
Right. So I don't know. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's the right thing. I'm just saying like that's what it kind of reminded me of. But at the same time, it's also professional wrestling, and you're like, yeah, we know what's supposed to happen here. Okay, whatever. Like, stop it. Nobody cares.
Right. Look after him,
Yeah, absolutely. Got to look after him.
But
I apologize for sounding winded. By the way, I am currently moving things in and out of a van in the house, but I am also able to carry on this kind of a conversation about
my guy is
the incident that happened.
multi-talented. By the way, thank you for doing this because that's awesome. But while you're moving, I'm gonna get to some comments because they are coming in hot and heavy. So CJ, he's like, it's an emotional maturity issue. If you're emotionally mature, and you know something is quote unquote fake, you don't keep going when it turns real. Interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, and that also goes to the whole idea of the the live stream and what he was saying, because he was even saying that like they told me to hit him once and somebody will pull me off, and he straight up goes, "No, I'm going to hit him as many times as I can."
Right, and it's like come on, bro, and I do think like that live stream kind of amped him up even more because there was a certain point in like when the initial incident happened with the beer can, he kind of cool. He was angry, and you could tell he was angry because the dude was like, "You ain't gonna sell it." He's like, "Hell no!" And you could tell he was angry, but he kind of cooled off enough to like shake hands, walk it off, right? And it wasn't until he got to the live stream and he saw the comments to where he's like, "Nah, I can't go out like that."
Yeah, I was gonna say he had people hyping him up like Man helping her, hyping up set 6. Like just jumping around there and be like, "Oh, bro, you can't take that. You can't do that." And he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I won't."
Right, ain't gonna be nobody's bitch.
Yeah, right.
It's like, I gotta get my lick back, But yeah, that whole situation, it's very unfortunate. It really is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a bad look on the world of independent wrestling, which, was just starting to get its, in the good graces of people,
Right.
Because it's experiencing a heyday with all the releases and people going to it and all that, and it was on its way to being so good and great for everything, and then something like this happens, it kind of just sets things back a little bit.
It does. It really does. What up, Neil? He says after Stu's head hit the mat, all the punches weren't needed at all. It was just so hard to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be an unpopular thing to say. I mean, like, Stu's head hit the mat. I mean, he just got thrown to the ground by somebody who's not technically trained in, and all that, right? So it's like, okay, you can say, "Oh crap, hit his head. That sucks." But then, like, the punches start, I'd be like, no, that's
unnecessary. That's not cool. Let's stop it. You know what I mean? Like, bro, he's out. And it's like he's out, bro. What else you gonna do?
Yeah, you don't need to do anything else. But then again, we know that like the intention, based off of what he said on the live stream, the intention was to go further. So,
and that's crazy. But let's get off the sappy, sad stuff.
Speaking of independent wrestling.
Let's get happy, man. Let's get happy. So this is Matthew Palmer's Gothic Ball, but we got to talk a little bit of Ring of Fire too. So this week on MPX, let's get right into it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Jumping right into it. First of all, let's talk about Ring of Fire, aka the Night Sect 6 took over MPX.
Yeah, no kidding. I was on a beach, so I didn't necessarily catch all of it, but I definitely kept up with some of the results and all that stuff. And that's what an impressive showing by a faction that honestly I thought, God, Demo's probably listening, and I'm going to get shot for this. A faction I thought was on their way out. Oh, is that rough to say? Is that rough to say?
No, it's not rough at all. And here's why. Is because Demo was gone.
Yeah.
And with Demo gone, there seemed to be a lack of direction. Yes, set 6 was popping up. They were here and there, but the direction was not there for them.
Yeah.
Entering Demo this past weekend, and it's clear Demo Diamond is the glue that holds set 6 together and the compass that steers the ship. That's evident.
Right. And so, we talked about Demo being gone. So Demo loses the MPX championship to Brick Savage, right? And then Reza Clark loses the women's championship to Abaddon. And then Jamie Aller decides he's got to go get JD Griffey to help right the ship. Well, now there's tension between Man and JD Griffey. Like, it all just seemed to spiral and downturn. And all it really needed was Demo to gather his wits about him.
Yeah. Yeah. He needed to catch his wind a little bit, came back, and this past weekend was very impressive. No lie.
Yeah.
Very impressive. By the time we got to the main event, I was like, I got scared for LVJ, really. I was like, bro, he's in a triple threat. I don't know if he's going to walk out of here with this championship. Normally, when the rest of the crew wins, there's like that
somebody's got to lose.
Somebody's got to lose. But this past weekend, the entire crew walked away with wins. Very impressive.
Yeah, it's a good rebound week for set 6. And again, very needed, like we said, for them to kind of regain their, assertiveness over MPX. Especially with Hal Sagan there attempting to take the rise and all that good stuff too.
Yep.
Didn't look like it was that great of a night for Hal Sagan either, though.
It was not. And that's that. You had 2 Hal Sagan members in matches against set 6 members. And that's both in the triple threat, which makes what set 6 did more impressive. Because LVJ especially, he's in there with Sagan and Delynn Cavens, 2 very, very good people, and he walks out with the win. And by the way, he makes it. I came out of that match thinking LVJ is about a year and a half away from greatness. Seriously.
See, and I am going to politely disagree with you there, and only on the premise of the fact that LVJ is already great, and LVJ knows that he's great. And that's kind of been the big thing, is that people always tend to sleep on LVJ, whether that's at MPX, whether that's at DFW All Pro, wherever it is. People seem to sleep on the fact that LVJ, he's main event level.
No doubt. I'm saying he's a year away from everybody realizing, because I see it.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I see it. That match made me a true believer. Like I was already had my eyes on LVJ. That match made me a believer. Like everybody else needs to catch up, but he's gonna be running stuff very, very soon. So
great addition to the team by Jamie Aller and Demo Diamond. Yeah, the chosen one there, that was good. And it's interesting. You say people need to catch on and realize and whatnot. When he broke in at MPX and he was at the pre-show matches and stuff, and I kind of thought it was just very generic. I thought it was very bland. Just kind of like this, clapping the powder, doing the whole collegiate athlete thing. Like, okay, cool, yippee-ki-yay. And lo and behold, there's this attitude. There's this swagger about him that he carries now.
Yeah.
And it's really set him apart from the rest of the field.
Absolutely it has. And I gotta give the flowers to Jamie Aller on this one. He knows how to pick them. He knows how to pick them, and he knows how to bring it out of them.
All that to say, we know that Jamie Aller also picked JD Griffey, who was not there. Well,
this is true.
To say that he was not there at Ring of Fire. But he is going to be here this weekend at Matthew Palmer's Gothic Ball.
Correct. And that in itself is interesting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that whole match is it's gonna be. This weekend is loaded with so many good matches. Like in my time as ring announcer, I feel like this is probably the strongest, like, I don't want to say unknown indie wrestler card, but like house-grown talent, right? They didn't have to bring anybody in, right? This is not like, oh, TV stars coming in to make a match good. No, every single one of these matches that's been put on paper so far, they're going to be bangers, and that's all down home talent.
Absolutely. Let's start with the match that you just talked about. So JD Griffey is going up against my guy Kari Jai Wright.
Oh my gosh,
who's making his return?
Yeah, making his return after on social media feeling highly disrespected by a lot of people in DFW. Not saying not all pro. I'm just saying Dallas-Fort Worth in general. Kari Wright feeling very disrespected by everybody with a lot to prove. And a great measuring stick going up against the current prospect champion. What a defense for Griffey to have to go in on number 3 on this.
Coming in with a chip on his shoulder too.
Oh yeah. Wait, which one? Both?
Kari.
Oh yeah, Kari. Yeah.
I like Kari with a chip on it. I really do. I like Kari with something to prove. Kari with something to prove is one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's very true. With when the stakes are highest, Kari tends to answer the bell very well. We saw it in the match with Exodus Prime, which had to take place because Prime assaulted his girlfriend, and so like those stakes were obviously very high, and we saw the best out of Kari Wright.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And let's go to another match that just got announced. And that is the Gothic horror match.
Yeah. I'm very excited for this one. This has been brewing for a few weeks now, with Ethan Hunter seemingly trying to take the entire scene by storm. And props to him. I know we mentioned it a few weeks ago when when Ethan Hunter attacked Sky after the triple threat match. But like, if you're going to make a mark, I guess you go for the most dangerous shark in the water.
Yeah. And in his style too.
Yes, very much his style.
Yes. So I like this match because no card is complete until you have violence.
And excessive violence at that. No, absolutely.
Excessive.
Well, and I'm incredibly curious to see Hunter in this atmosphere. Hunter, of course, is a mainstay down south. Houston, Austin, where those kind of matches are a little bit more prevalent than they are up here in DFW. But I haven't seen Ethan Hunter in a match like this.
I haven't either, and that's what makes this intriguing for me, is because he obviously chose this for a reason, and is against Sky, this is right in his wheelhouse. He's an expert. He's a subject matter expert at this. So I would say him choosing this match is a very, very bold move, but it's actually a respectable move because this could show how tough he is. And if he doesn't break, that is just as much a win as actually getting the pin.
Sure. Yeah.
And if he wins, then that's a definite statement made.
Yeah, I mean, he catapults to the top of the list in a lot of people's eyes for any of the championships that we have at MPX, I think it's something to do with trying to shed the image that Hunter has, I think. The guy gets haircuts every time he's at MPX. You don't get to see that, by the way. I don't know if you know this. Ethan Hunter has his own barber.
Does he really?
Brings him up to the show. And before the show, he's getting a little trim. He's getting his fade taken care of. He is getting himself prettied up.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Oh, Richie Rich over there.
Old Richie Rich. That's right. And so, this match is just, it's confusing, but like in a really good way, because you're like, what are you even thinking? And then you're like, well, he's got something to prove, obviously.
I mean, that's the perfect way to prove it, honestly. Yeah. If you got something to prove, Why not go after the biggest, baddest dog in the yard?
That's right.
I again, you got to respect it. You got to respect it. So let's go to another match. House Sagan in action against someone. The leader of House Sagan is in there with someone I haven't seen in a while, and I'm actually excited to see him again, and that is Langley.
Oh yeah, young Langley trying to come on back with a storm, and yeah, taking on the leader of House Sagan. That's a tall task. I'm not sure who asked for this match, but it's definitely going to be a match that I don't want to say it could be sleeper match of the night, but it could be sleeper match of the night.
Very much could be sleeper match. Langley is someone you should not sleep on, period.
Agreed. And of course, he's still incredibly young in the game. But you see the post from his mom and how far he's come. This has been in Langley's blood for a good long while, right? He started training at an incredibly young age under the incredible stray dog Barrett Brown, who, by the way, I've made submit twice. Just have to say that, and I pinned him. But that's beside the point. Tremendous amount of respect for Barrett and how he approaches training wrestling. And Langley is learning from the best, and he's only going to continue to keep getting better. And this is a great yardstick to see where he's at right now.
It is. It really is. I like this for him. And like I said, when he's around, I love watching him. And I'm excited that he's back. And this match is something I'm really excited about. What's up to the champ in the chat? I know he doesn't hold the title, but he's the champ to me. What up, Demo?
Oh, there he is. Okay, so you didn't hear what I said earlier, right? Or did one of you guys rat me out?
Oh man, but let's keep it moving. Speaking of Demo,
oh yeah. Now here's another one of those things with the chip on the shoulder and going after the big bad dogs in the yard. This is a tremendous opportunity for one Demo Diamond.
Yep, this will make him, and he mentioned this a couple of days ago. If he wins this match with LVJ, very unique opportunity. He will be a Grand Slam champion, which he's bragging about it now. He will be a Grand Slam champion, and LVJ will be a double champion because he has the Addicts title if they win this match. But I'm gonna be honest, Demo. This is a tall mountain. I've seen you climb them. I know you have a plan, but this is a tall test in the scorn. The 6-time MPX tag team champions. That's a tough test.
History making versus history making. That's what we're seeing here, right? And Demo being a potential Grand Slam champion. The Scorn, of course, history making 6-time tag team champions. And the Scorn seems to have kind of revitalized themselves in a way, ever since turning the corner with Travis Cuddy at Matthew Palmer's last show. Kind of seems like the Scorn have turned a corner and kind of regained their identity and regained what it is that they're about.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be highly interesting to see how the Scorn approach this particular match, because this isn't just a random thrown together tag team, and this isn't a team that is only just now starting to tag together or anything, This is set 6. And I know we haven't seen Demo and LVJ necessarily team up, but it's set 6. And that's the kind of a brotherhood that you can't teach or learn,
Right. Not only that, you're getting set 6 after the week they had last week.
Yeah. Huge amount of momentum.
Huge momentum because the entire squad won last week. That is a battery in the back that is dangerous to go up against, because they have to feel like they're invincible right now. And it's something that they're going after history. They're daring to be bold in this situation. That's a recipe for disaster for anyone, let alone the Scorn, Yeah.
I think the Scorn needs to make sure that they dig down deep and they find a little bit of little bit of that old edge that they had previously. I thought they can't take Demo too lightly. They can never take Demo too lightly. But the team of Demo and LVJ, after all the praise that we were just giving to LVJ,
right,
you really can't take that lightly at all.
We know Demo is a mastermind, and we've seen the brilliance that LVJ brings to the table. Those two paired together are a dangerous pairing. Very dangerous pairing. And Demo's already talking like it's in the bag. So
that doesn't surprise me. That's like
but let's go to the main event, and that is the MPX title match.
Oh man. This freaking match, man. I'm so excited.
This one, tune in, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Tune in. Make sure you're comfortable and ready to go, because this one is going to be a banger.
Yes, with a hard ER. It is for sure going to be a banger. Not a banger. This is going to be a banger. I look forward to all of Brick Savage's title defenses, especially when I don't have to be in the ring with him after the bell rings. This one, no different. This is going to be a phenomenal matchup.
No, very much. And what's exciting about this matchup is the fact that we haven't seen Tommy Becker in the title scene in a long time.
Yeah, and since Demo.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't seen him in a title picture in a couple of years. For him to get this opportunity, we know what type of champion he's been. We know what talent he carries, and this opportunity, he's not going to take it for granted.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I think one of the interesting things about Tommy Becker coming into this is that over the last, I guess, yearish or so, we've kind of seen a little bit more of an aloof and a silly, almost an Impact Players goofy kind of vibe to Tommy Becker, right?
Right.
He's got to really refocus that and dial that in against the World Breaker. But we also know that when the chips are down, the Tommy Becker is ready to answer.
Yep, every single time. Single time.
I'm actually more looking forward to this bringing the best out of Tommy Becker, because for a very good long time there, he would bring up the fact that he is the best in Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to get unpopular with people, right? But I feel like I haven't seen that in some time. I think I saw it when he was facing Richard Holiday.
Yep.
I think I saw it when there was somebody else that he ended up facing too that brought it out. But aside from that, I kind of feel like Tommy Becker hasn't necessarily found it, right? And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he hasn't had the MPX championship around his waist.
Right. And that, like I said, this is the perfect storm for him. He's in there with Brick Savage, and they will bring it out of Becker. You don't have to worry about that. All you have to do is ring the bell. Mm-hmm. And this makes for a very, very combustible situation. I love it because, like I said, we haven't seen him in this scene in a minute. So he's gonna make the best of it, and that Brick Savage is gonna bring it out of him.
Yeah. 100%. And I hope that Becker does the same for Brick. Brick has been used to facing kind of bigger talents, larger talents, like people with either larger bodies or larger hearts kind of thing. It's been a good long while since we've seen Brick Savage take on somebody with the technical expertise that Tommy Becker has. I think it's a conflict in styles, and I think that's a really interesting thing to watch for.
He's technical, and as brutal as Brick is, we don't give them enough credit for being as intelligent as they are, because they are very intelligent. They are both thinkers, and that contrast in style is going to make for a great match. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So very much looking forward to this one.
Yeah, that'll be huge.
But that's the announced matches so far. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so. I thought Rex Mori was in there somewhere, but Rex has been around MPX a lot lately.
He has been, and this situation with him and Dalton Gray, yes.
Yeah.
That's something to look out for. We may see something on this card between those two.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. And I've appreciated everything that Dalton Gray has done to step up his game and kind of like almost put himself on the map in these matches with Rex.
Right.
And so it's been nice to see. But I do think Dalton potentially has earned a nice week off after last week's match.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Before we get out of here, we got to talk a little bit of Who Runs the World 2. And you were in Cabo when this happened, so I couldn't hit you up immediately. I didn't want to disturb your vacation, but holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Bailey.
We're getting the role model.
Bailey and Mercedes casually talking on IG Live, and Bailey starts talking about Chris Statlander.
Yep.
And then she was like, "That's why I'm coming." And I go, "Come where? You're going to MPX in Bedford? Are you serious?"
Yeah. That's
actually it's in Irving.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would have corrected you later. Yeah. That's a huge get. And what I find interesting is that, and I didn't necessarily watch the entire thing of it, but like, kind of seems like it was brought up unprovoked.
It was like, bro, it's like me and you talking right now. That's how casual it was. It was
and
like
that.
Wait, what?
That's what's exciting to me is that in casual conversation, Metroplex Wrestling got brought up and
unprovoked.
Yeah. And I hope that people take notice of that and realize that, like, oh shit, MPX is here to play. Like this is going to be monumental.
Yep.
And I don't know if the role model is going to be doing anything on the show for MPX, but the presence of Bailey is enough.
It's enough. All you got to do is pull up Bailey.
Oh yeah.
And let me get a picture. That's not the plan.
Hey,
but not seriously.
That's fine. We'll work on it. Yeah. We'll call it a part of the sponsor package.
But when I saw that, man, I couldn't help but like, it's insane how easy that was for her to like, yeah, I'm coming. It's like you're coming to MPX. I stopped everything, and I told CJ, he's in the chat. I told him, I said, hey, whatever you're doing in October, put the plans on hold because you need to come down here immediately. You need to come down 100%. Here. You need to come to the show. Bailey's gonna be at the show because he wanted to go to Who Runs the World, the first show. He wanted to go to that. And he missed it. And I was like, bro, if you plan on coming, now's the time. Get your ticket now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you can't get front row anymore.
Nope. Bro, people start hitting me up left and right. Like, where do I get these tickets? I had to direct people to the MPXWrestling.com, had to direct them there. And then they were finding out the front row was already sold out. So just off the strength of Bailey just saying that, sold tickets. I know firsthand.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Again, very interested to see how many people fly in from out of town as well.
Yeah.
That's going to bring people in, right?
Yeah.
So, thanks for the house. I think that's what we say in the business, right? Is thanks for the house. So, no, and the great thing is that it didn't necessarily need Bailey to bring the house, right?
Right.
It was already pre-made, and that's super exciting for me to be able to watch how this is going to evolve. But yeah, the house was already made when the second event was announced, This is just kind of icing on the cake kind of stuff.
Yep. Nikki Blackheart, Chris Statlander, and then you throw in Bailey in there, and like, bro, this is already an epic night.
Well, and if you paid attention to the MPX social media as well, we know that the face off of the showdown between Nyla Rose and Charity King is not over yet either.
Yep.
So yeah, that's another thing to watch out for. So you know something's going to happen with that.
Yep.
So yeah, this is going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So can't wait for that. But this is the end, my friend. Any parting shot? First of all, before we get out of here, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule coming on the show. Also, while you were gone, I do want to give a very special kudos to Kennedy because you put up with a lot.
Oh man, Kennedy is a gem. Kennedy is an absolute gem and a star, and I am fortunate that MPX was in such good hands while I was away. Can't say enough good things about Kennedy. I really
very
can't.
much. She killed it, man. Killed it.
Yep.
Kudos to her. But any last words, sir?
No, just go to mpxwrestling.com. I want to see everybody out in their Gothic best for Matthew Palmer's Gothic Ball. I definitely want to see some people participating. I will attempt to participate. I am in the process of moving stuff, so I don't know how much stuff I can find. But yeah, and then also don't forget to pick up tickets for Who Runs the World too. And if any people out there are listening that want to help sponsor said show, feel free to hit me up. I'm always going to thank you, sir, for helping to sponsor MPX in all of its incarnations.
Anytime.
So, yeah, it's a great partnership, and I love doing this with you as kind of part of the return and kind of all of that as well. But also because it's super fun talking about this stuff with you. The first part of this whole quote unquote podcast or this show really felt like a podcast, right? And like that's from a guy that used to do the podcasting stuff before. Like that was great. It was good, natural conversation.
Yes, very much. So, but and look at the turnout. The turnout's starting to grow a little bit, and that is speaking volumes. So
yeah,
thank you guys for tuning in very much. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Addicts. And also don't forget to go on twitch.tv/Metroplex Wrestling.
Yep. We have been gifting subs
nice
to the Twitch. So come on out. You might get some gifted subs. You might get a free sub out of this, man. So tune in, go to twitch.tv/Metroplex Wrestling and enjoy the show.
Yes, indeed. Like what you're gonna like.
Absolutely. And that's gonna sign us out, guys. Thank you for tuning in to This Week on MPX. Like what you see, come back next week. We'll be here. But until then, you guys be safe. Take care of each other. And like Matt said, enjoy what you're going to enjoy. Peace.
See you later.
And I know it's all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business. We give them no gimmicks.